Welcome to UG 50 and Beyond, Your Vision, Our Mission. This program is produced by the Public Relations Division of the University of Guyana and seeks to highlight the programs and offerings of the university as well as project for the future. My name is Lisa Sumra and I am your host. In studio with me are representatives from the Registry Division who will be speaking about the services being offered by the registry. Ladies, welcome. To my right, I have Miss Nakalva Washington.
Hello.
She is the Assistant Registrar, Admissions Division. And to her right is Miss Daniela King. She is the Assistant Registrar, Students Welfare. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we get into a conversation about applications for 2019-2020 academic year, may you give us an overview, a brief overview of the Registry Division, Ms. King?
Thank you. The Registry of the University of Guyana. This is a unit that is at the heart of our administration, and it serves to pivot both the work of the academic arm of the university as well as the administrative arm of the university. The role of the registry is essentially one that is twofold.
Okay.
Behind the scenes, the registry, through our operating system, our record system and so forth, gathers data, and we prepare reports and analyses, and these are in turn utilized to aid the senior officers of the university in the formulation of policies, decision making, and so all of this happens behind the scenes, but it's an important role and function of the registry. The registry also serves, after helping to formulate and feed into the formulation of policies and the creation of policies which govern our operations, the registry serves the function of gatekeeper. We are the unit that, in the main, ensures compliance with those very policies or rules or regulations that we are operating within the parameters of our statutes and so forth. So that is not something that is always tangible, but it's a key function of the registry. On the other hand, our role that is more visible is what typical university registries would do. And this is linked to our admissions processes, applications, registration, recruitment as well, examinations, taking care of class schedules, exam schedules, preparing and issuing official documentation on the academic record of our students and so forth. We provide front-end services to support our students as well for their success whilst they're at the university. This is more what our internal and external customers will see, right? But it's a part of a two-part role that the registry fulfills within the University of Guyana.
Okay, great information. Ms. Washington, I know that the application process for 2019-2020, that applications are currently open and
Yes, it is.
will close on May 30. Is that correct?
Yes, May
Okay.
31st.
May 31st.
Yes.
Okay. May you tell us a little about the criteria for application to the University of Guyana briefly?
No problem. So the general entry requirements for the university, it's 5 subjects at the CSEC or GCO level. Grades 1, 2s, and 3s are acceptable grades. So at least 5. You can have more, but we accept 5. And maths and English, of course, are compulsory.
Okay, what are some of the alternative criteria for entry? Because I know there are special alternatives.
Okay, great. Now, let's say you're a mature student. For us, a mature student is defined by being age 26 years and older. Now, there are programs that, if you do not have the 5 CSEC subjects, you can do what is known as the University of Guyana Entrance Examination, or the UGEE, as we call it for short. Now, once you're 26 years and over and you have the relevant experience, you can write this exam. The exam date is July 19th this year.
Okay, and in terms of the application process, what, how does one go about the process?
Going about the process, everything is done online.
Great.
So you go to the university's website at uog.edu.gy. You can go to that website and you click on apply now, because right now applications are open. Once you click on the portal, you can choose the portal that you wish to apply to. And when I say portal, I mean maybe you want to go to the Turkine campus. So there's a portal that will lead you to Turkine, but you may be from region 5 or 6. So we have a campus in Berbice. So you can go to the Berbice campus and you can apply to that portal.
Okay.
So once you go online and you click on apply now, you have to know what program you want to do. So you can select your program, you start the application process. It's a form, an online form. It guides you on the step to apply. So everything is online. All the information, all the steps. If you have an issue with your application, we have a help desk email address that you can email us and ask us questions. So you can submit all the information that the application form asks you. And once you've successfully submitted that application, it will tell you successfully submitted in green.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. In terms of assistance to, just suppose I were a new student, potentially new student.
Yes.
Is there any system in place for anyone to guide them through the online process?
Yes, of course. So you can, as I mentioned before, the help desk. There's the emails for those who may not be very close to the location. You may not have time. Probably you're working or you live in a region that is far from one of the campuses. So you can send an email to the help desk or admissions@uog.edu.gy. You can call us on 222-2740 or 623-8325, or you can actually come into the registry. Now, we have a designated building. You can't miss it. So you come to the ground floor in the admissions division. We have what is known as our student-friendly corner.
Great.
So we have computers that we will have someone who assists you, a registry assistant, to guide you through the process. So if you are not computer savvy, so you're not too up to date with the use of the computers and to fill the application for you, or you're having issues, you can come into us and we will have you sit at one of those computers and then we will guide you through the process.
Okay, what are some of the documents that are required for application to UG?
Okay, so the basic documents are you can bring your passport or your birth certificate and 2 passport size photographs that must be certified by a Minister of Religion or a JP. Of course, your academic qualifications, and you bring both originals and a photocopy.
Okay.
So you bring your academic qualifications or your professional qualifications, probably you're a registered nurse. Or you can bring your technical qualifications. You went to one of the technical institutes of Guyana, and so you have a certificate in a technical area. So you bring originals and photocopies of all these documents, and you print what is known as the certificate of declaration. Now, the certificate of declaration is granted to you after you would have submitted your application.
Okay.
So that document also has a list of all the required documents that you must submit. So for instance, if you're married, you will need to bring your marriage certificate, right? Again, originals and photocopies. So you bring that into the admissions division of the registry, and you're also required to pay an admission processing fee.
Okay. Is there a stipulated time for the applicant to take the documents based on the time that they would have applied online?
Yes.
Okay.
You have 2 weeks to submit these documents,
Okay, great.
but a student can submit the day after, too.
Okay, let's switch a little and talk about the payment options for entry to the University of Guyana. I know we have the loan system and you can also pay cash. May you tell us a little about that?
Well, the cash payment, let me start with the cash.
Sure.
So you may be a student, you're interested in coming to university, and so you're willing to pay for your education directly through cash payment. You can pay by semester, or you can pay for the entire year. So let's say, for instance, you have some issues with paying the entire amount. We have made it friendly where you can come to our deputy registrar, Dr. Velosa, and you can enter what is known as a payment contract. So you agree as to what are the amounts, when you're going to pay these amounts, and you must do this before final examination is upon you.
Okay.
So that is cash. Now for loan students, you must go to the student loan agency. The building is located on the campus, but they're a part of the Ministry of Finance. A lot of times students think that student
They
loan
get mixed up.
agency is UG's facility, but it's actually part of the Ministry of Finance. So
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yes. So it's a contract that you enter
Yes.
with the Ministry of Finance, and of course you have to pay them back this money because it's a
Correct.
revolving fund. So when you pay back, somebody else can afford to come to university thereafter.
Okay, great information. In terms of registration period, after you would have done all the application and all this stuff, in terms of registration, how does that work?
Well, registration is a process that is separate from application. Sometimes students do get mixed up with the two terms. So when you're a prospective student or you're now applying, you're not yet a student.
Correct.
So once you're accepted or you're admitted to a particular program at university, you are given what is known as a unique student identification number. It's like your national ID for UG. So it's a number that will be used throughout your entire life at UG and even after. So when you're giving this, we call it USI for short, this USI number, you are then guided to now register as a current student. So you're now a student. So you use this number and you change your password. It's kind of like, I always say it's kind of like a Facebook account. So you have a username and you have a password, or even your email, your username, your password. And so you're not to share that with anyone, of course. And so this will get you into your profile.
Okay.
So you register for your courses and everything online, and we have the steps to guide you. So there's actually information form on the actual portal to tell you how to register if you have issues.
Okay. At this point, do we have a registration date and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay.
July 1st to August 31st.
Okay. And in terms of tuition payment and so forth, what is the time span within which a student is required to pay tuition and facilities fees? Because I know, may you tell us a little about the facilities
These
fees, because that's a big one, and the stipulated time for tuition payment.
Okay, great. So there's a tuition which covers the cost of your courses in your program, and then there's the facility fee, which covers for your learning resource, your exam fees, your student ID card, your library cautionary deposit, and these other expenses. Now, the tuition fee can vary by program. For instance, medicine will not cost the same as a bachelor's in law, it will not cost the same as another program, let's say environmental science. We have a general tuition fee. Most of our programs cost $228,448,000 per year. And there's always a academic deadline for every year, which will stipulate the deadline for the submission of payment without penalty. Now the penalty is basically a late fee if you go beyond this date in paying whatever monies you owe to the university. It's usually, once classes begin a particular week, it's usually the 8th week or the 7th week of that particular semester is the deadline for payment.
Okay. How, in terms of exemptions, right? How should one apply for it? Because some persons feel it's automatic. How and when does one apply for exemptions and so forth?
Well, you apply for your exemptions when you register for your courses.
Okay.
So,
may you repeat that, please? Because I don't know if persons, are aware.
Yes. So you apply online. There's a tab that will say registration. You're registering now, register online. So whilst you submit the registration, there's another tab that will say registering or applying for exemptions. You just click on that tab and it will also guide you as to what you need to enter into the slots. In the rules and regulations, and this is a document that is also available to students, it has a list of exemptions, what can exempt you. For instance, certain subjects in CAPE, once you do units 1 or you do units 1 and 2, you can be exempted once you have grades 1, 2s, and 3s.
Okay.
Right? So if you look and you download that document and you read it through, you can be certain that, hey, I qualify for this exemption. And so it will also tell you what course at the university you can be granted the exemption for.
Okay. I know we have launched some new programs recently.
Yes.
May you tell us a little about those programs?
No problem. So one of the programs that we've launched is the Bachelor of Science, Food Science. This was a program that was long in the pipelines, and it was one that was requested. Now, the Bachelor of Food Science is a program that accepts you with English A, Maths, Chemistry, and Biology, and any other subject. Because as I would have said earlier, you need at least 5. So if you have those 4 and another subject at the CSEC level, you qualify to apply for this program and be considered for entry. That is one of the programs that we have, and it falls in the Faculty of Natural Sciences. Another program of excitement is the Associate of Petroleum Engineering, because we're getting this oil, right? Yes. So this is a program that is available for application right now for applicants. You must have Maths, English A, Physics, and Chemistry. If you do not have physics, we offer a course in technology known as the Pre-University Physics course. Right at this moment, you can come to the faculty and find out. So if you're a student and you've done chemistry but you don't have the physics, but you're interested in petroleum engineering, you can come to the Faculty of Engineering and Technology and find out when that course will start, what is the cost, and that will be a substitute for the physics that you may not have. Of course, you must have 5 and more subjects at CSEC, and all passes grades 1, 2s, and 3s. We also have the Bachelor of Youth and Community Development, another interesting area. And here you must have Maths, English, and any other 3 subjects. So those are some of the new programs that we have launched at the university.
Okay, is there anything else you would like to share about the application process or criteria?
Well, what I like to remind persons is that your application allows you to choose up to 3 options. So let's say, for instance, you're interested in law. And law and medicine and dentistry are some very competitive programs. So let's say you're not considered this year for that program. It's advisable that you put a second option into your application, because if you're not accepted into law, you can do 1 year of, let's say, international relations, for example. And once you do well in that area, you can reapply for law the year after. So you put a second option, and for every option, it's $1,000. That's in the degrees and the associate level. If you're interested in applying for our postgraduate, or let's say you're interested in one of the master's programs that we have, and we have a PhD program as well. A lot of persons are not aware that we have one PhD in biodiversity. The cost for that application fee will vary from an undergrad.
Okay.
The undergrads are $1,000 per option, and the masters are $10,000. The PhD is $20,000, and that fee is non-refundable. So you must be certain what program you want to do at the university.
Correct.
Right? So you pay your processing fee, and we do the processing, and we encourage you to apply. Also, students who are now writing CSEC or CAPE, you can apply pending your results. A lot of persons think that you have to await those results. No, you put in your information, you put that you're writing in 2019, you put results awaiting. We know that we have to wait on you, but don't get caught in the late rush. Get your application in early, and we are more than happy to assist you to verify whatever documents you have now. And one more thing, for any CSEC or CAPE student out there, you can enter or into your application your candidate number and give us the permission to get your results directly from CXC. So you don't have to bring in that slip physically when you get it. We will get the information directly from the CXC.
Great information indeed. I know one of the concerns of students or potential students when they apply to the University of Guyana is accommodation. Where will I live? Especially those coming from the outlying areas. So on that note, Ms. King, how may a student, potential student, apply for residency, Hall of Residence at the University of Guyana?
Okay. The process, let me start by mentioning that there are 3 dormitories available for our students. 2 are university administered, 1 is private.
Okay.
The 2 that are university administered, applications usually, and this year it will follow that pattern, coincide with the period of registration. Assistant Registrar Washington mentioned earlier that registration will commence from July 1. At that time, our application for the dormitory will be open, and we've configured it that way, more or less to reduce the number of applicants that we may have to process who may not be successful this year.
Okay.
Right. So if you are at the stage of being able to register, you've been offered a place to read in a program. And so from that point, that is why it's until July 1. I know that right now there may be some anxiety, where will I live, and so forth. But we put careful thought into when we will open that. So those are the UG dormitories. Everything concerning that application is dovetailed with our students' record management system, which facilitates a number of our services being offered online. So the same way that you can apply online, register online, you can apply for a place at the dormitory online as well. So you don't need to leave the region to say that you are interested in a room. There is 1 private dormitory, as I said earlier, and their process is at the moment open. It is, my understanding is that it is paper-based, and so if you are interested, you will have to come to the campus go to the admin office of the Bihari dorm, that is the private dorm, and uplift an application form. You can fill it in there and then return it, or take it away and return it. The process will conclude by the end of July, and after that, the shortlisted persons will be contacted for an interview. The three facilities have different carrying capacity. Bihari, for example, accommodates 60 students.
Okay.
It seems like a lot, but it's not a lot. Every year, our applicants far outstrip the available rooms. The university administered dorms, one is located on the Turkine campus, the New Building Society Hall of Residence. At that facility, we have a carrying capacity for 40 students.
Okay. And what is the cost to
I'll
apply?
come to that. I'll come to
Because
that.
we're a bit
apply,
strapped for time, so
there's
yes.
no cost for applications. Applying is free.
Okay.
But if you've been offered a place, there are resultant fees.
Okay.
Maybe cautionary deposit and the monthly rent and so forth. I would like to mention that we have not the university administered facility, dormitory, the Dennis Irving Hall of Residence, and that is just about 5 minutes away from the campus at Woodville with a current capacity for approximately 53 students. So for those persons who may be from the outlying regions, these are options available to you. Because places are limited, I can only ask and encourage that you pay either attention to when we'll be opening, and for the one facility where applications are already open, please apply early.
Okay, great information, and I know that the Students Welfare Division has a number of core services and so on, and information may be had online as well. So may you tell us a little about probably initiatives or plans for the improvement of quality assurance, basically, of the registry, and we're gonna wrap with that.
Okay. As the university moves forward, the role of the registry has to evolve along with it. And in Train, we are looking to integrate into all of our processes, all of our systems, an element of quality. Quality assurance, this is the catchphrase that's popular, and the benchmark by which, accreditation and so forth is being offered. In the first instance, along with the University of Guyana, the registry is amending, where necessary, processes and systems as the university seeks registration with the National Accreditation Council. And ultimately, when that body is able to accredit, the university should be well poised to be able to capitalize on that. The impact will be resultant for the registry. In addition to that, in fulfilling its mandate, the registry's focus in delivery of its services to ensure that it is as efficient as possible, it meets international benchmarks and so forth. And we are working on, we're in conversation on the improvement to our student information system. I mentioned that it's a student's record management system, and we are looking to acquire and utilize an improved enterprise system where we can expand services that are probably not online right now, can probably be added.
Thank you very much, Ms. King. I would like to thank Ms. Nicalva Washington, the Assistant Registrar Admissions Division.
You're welcome.
And Ms. Daniela King, Assistant Registrar Students Welfare. So much information UG has to offer, but we have so little time. And I would like to thank you, the audience, for viewing.